Okay, so let's go and let's talk about how to increase your income, raise your credit, and clear your debt with trading income. So this is going to take a lot of patience, but this is going to happen. And you're going to be able to set up the rest of your life and have a supplemental income. You're not going to have to stress maybe one day, especially if your account grows big enough, you're going to be able to exit work. You're not going to have to do things such as work 2 jobs. You're going to be able to maybe quit one of your jobs because you're going to have an extra supplemental source of income coming in. I'm going to show you guys how we're going to use that income, how you need to break it down to pay your taxes, how you're going to be able to clear your debt, etc. So let's get into it. So first thing, let's talk about how do we pay ourselves as traders. So for my live account people, and I recommend that you guys do play on a live account, because when you are on a live account, you're going to be able to manage and structure your life a lot better. So you guys are a pizza delivery driver or something like that. You have to pay for gas pretty much every single day. When you're winning a setup 3-4 times out of the week, your gas is pretty much going to be canceled out and paid for. Now that part of your work check is going to be saved, and you're going to be able to go ahead and increase your income from there. So that's definitely why I do recommend to play on a live account. Due to the fact that you can manage and withdraw your money whenever you want. So I just want to go ahead and talk about this. I want to talk about prop firm for a second. I don't recommend prop firm because it's not real trading. After you get your win, you should be able to pay yourself. On prop firm, they make you pass consistency rules. They make you pass through challenges. They make you kind of try to put a treat in front of your money, even though you've been winning. So it's like you're winning for no reason, and then it makes you do a lot of stupid decisions, especially when you guys are chasing consistency days and stuff like that, or profitable days, depending on what firm that you're on. So, but when you're on a live account, you're going to be able to withdraw after pretty much every single win. So let's talk about how to withdraw, the percentages to withdraw, how you guys can still grow your account and pay yourself. So boom. So whenever you win a trade, and once again, it does help. For my futures guys, I'm not too sure what futures brokers have instant transfer deposits. I know Trade08 and NinjaTrader just got brought out by Kraken. So I'm not too sure if there's going to be some big upgrades coming there soon. But I know for my options traders, we do have stuff available such as Robinhood that gives instant deposit and withdrawals, such and Webull that gives instant deposits and withdrawals as well. So, um, so yeah, I definitely try and use a broker that has instant deposits and instant withdrawals. Okay. So, and you do. So I know you use Robinhood, so we're all good there. So try and use a broker that's instant deposits and withdrawals. This way, you're going to be able to instantly pay yourself, structure out your money, and you're not going to be able to do stupid stuff such as win $10,000 and then lose $7,000 of it on the next trade, and you didn't withdraw anything of it. So yeah, and profits are not profits until they are realized in your bank account. So here's how we're going to go ahead and break it down. So for example, let's say you win $100, right? Let's say you win $100 on a trade. You're going to withdraw, and you could choose your percentage. 30 to 50% of that goes into your bank account. So in this instance, this is going to be around $30 to $50. Okay. $30 to $50 is going to go into your bank account. Okay. So if you win $100 on the trade, and I want you to choose your percentage that you're comfortable with. Okay, the less percentage, the more your account's going to grow. But if you destroy your account and make bad decisions, the more profit you're going to lose. So if you're a disciplined trader, you can keep your withdrawal percentage low, grow your account faster, and then maybe up it later. But that's going to be completely up to you. Okay, but I do recommend that every time you do win a trade, withdraw around 30 to 50% of the profits and then keep growing your account from there. Don't forget that the goal of this trading is to get paid. We're not just on here trying to grow our account and just do account flips. Account flips don't matter if you're not realizing gains and not getting paid. So remember, you can literally, if you wanted to as well, I'm going to show you another system. You can either do it like this. So let's call this system 1. So if you win $100 on a trade, then you can go ahead and withdraw 30 to 50% of that. So in this instance, that's going to be $30 to $50 on that. Okay. Then don't forget about taxes. Okay. So I'm going to explain this part very slowly just so we don't get confused here. So let's say we withdrew $50, right? Let's say we withdrew $50 from the $100 win. Correct? Okay. We withdraw $50 from the $100 win. Okay. And trading, you pay taxes. You only pay taxes on the amount you withdraw. Okay. Because it's not really real money yet until you withdraw. You could easily press a couple buttons and delete all of it. So you only pay taxes on the amount you withdraw. I believe futures traders get some tax benefits, but I like to go ahead and just do it like this, just so you guys don't get into any trouble and stuff like that. And so you can have some savings left over and just pretty much be over prepared for your taxes. So boom. So let's say you withdraw $50, okay? From whatever you withdraw, take 40% of that. So in this instance, 40% of $50. Okay. So, and the easiest way to do this is just put in the percentage calculator. So I like to just go to percentagecalculator.com. Whatever I withdraw, I'm going to put in what is 40% of $50. And the answer is going to be $20. So I'll take 40% of whatever I'm withdrawing. So I'm taking 40% of the $50. Okay. You can use a percent calculator online to find your answers. Okay. So take the 40% of the $50, because $50 is the withdrawal amount, which is $20. And put it, do you have another checking or savings account? Okay, or you can actually do this. You're on Robinhood, right? You do all your trades on Robinhood. Okay, if you're on Robinhood, do you have the Robinhood card? Okay, apply for that. Apply for the Robinhood card. And what you can do, the Robinhood makes it very, very simple. What you can do on Robinhood is literally just take, you can just take the 40%, and you can just put that, you can literally just put it to the side. So you could take the 40% and you could put it inside of the Robinhood spending account and just keep that there. And then whenever it's tax time, just use the Robinhood card. Yep. Yep. And then Robinhood has its own, and it'll give you its own separate bank account for it too. It's very cool. Awesome. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep going here. Alrighty, all right. No, just the Robinhood card. Should just be the Robinhood card. I don't know if it's the gold card. It might be the gold card, but no, I know the gold card gives like other benefits. I don't know if it is the gold card. Hmm. Okay, yeah, Robinhood. Do you look up the Robinhood debit card if you see that? That should definitely be available. Robinhood debit card. Yeah, Robinhood Cash Card is what it's called. Robinhood Cash Card is what it's called. Yep. Awesome. So, yep. Okay. Okay. So you're all good there? And then so all right, awesome. So yeah, you could just Google Robinhood Cash Card, and then yeah, after the call, you should be able to just go ahead and apply for that. So yeah, Robinhood Cash Card. So boom. So after that, let's go ahead and talk about some other stuff. So that's going to be system one. So that's going to be withdrawing 30 to 50% of whatever your win is. Don't divide that down. Take 40%, put it away, and taxes, you're only going to pay like 20 to 30%. So having that extra 10%, you're going to have some money left over. You could just keep it there. And yeah, just you're just going to have a bunch of money everywhere. You have money in your broker, money in your savings left over, money in your checking account. It's going to be really nice. So boom. Yep. And then the other 60% you keep and do whatever you want. Yep. Awesome. So cool. So let's talk about system two. So now we're going to have system two. System two is going to be to where you play with the same base amount and withdraw once, let's say every like first of the month. So you can do this. You can play with the same base amount. So let's say that you could play with the $500 account. This is what a lot of big traders do once you start getting into like the 6 to 7 figures, really 6 figures, because on options, um, you can't really like you can make like however much income you want, but there comes to a point to where your orders aren't going to get filled in. So you can't buy like $1 million worth of spy contracts, if that makes sense. And are you able to hear me? So yeah, you're not going to be able to buy $1 million worth of spy contracts, and that's pretty much just going to let us know that okay, we need to play with the base amount. You're not going to be able to play with 7 figures on options. You can play shares with 7 figures, but you're going to be able to play with around 6 figures and keep playing with that base amount and keep withdrawing. So let's say you play with that $500 base amount. Hey, you're awesome. Okay, my apologies. So yeah, we're talking about system two right now. So back to system two. So this is going to be with the base amount. So on options, once again, it comes to a point to where you can't really buy like $1 million worth of options contracts because there's not that much volume, especially on certain stocks. So you come to a point to where you can play with like cap like 200K in your account. But let's say like $500, for example. Play with that $500 until maybe the next first of the month. And then after that, scale up and you pay yourself every day. So withdraw the full amount of every win and scale up the next first of the month. So, for example, you scale up to 1K, then 2K, then 3K, and just keep paying yourself every single day. So, yeah, you can do that. System one or system two is going to be just fine. And same thing, um, make sure that you're still putting 40% of the withdraw profits away for taxes. Okay. Even though you're probably only going to pay 20%, 20 to 30%. But it's just nice to be over prepared and you might have some leftovers. Okay. So cool. So back to this here. All right. So now let's talk about credit. So credit is going to be very, very important. If you guys are in college, I recommend applying for the Discover or Capital One student card to start your score now. Take your trading profits and pay off your credit card every single month. Barely use the credit card though. You can literally destroy your life and put yourself in a ton of debt with credit card. And credit card debt is way different than student loans. You don't want credit card debt. You don't want your car to get repoed. Those are the two things that hurt really bad. So barely use the credit card. You do not want to fall into debts or feel like you're going to have to completely rely on trading to climb out of debt. You want to just take your time, understand the debt will be cleared, take it day by day. So barely use the credit card. You do not want to get into more debt. So take some of the profits and pay off the card. Use the card for subscriptions. So if you have like a Netflix or something like that, or like your Webull subscription or something like that, just small things like that, use the credit card for small payments or reoccurring payments. No big purchases on credit cards. They watch that, and we want to make sure our score is getting raised as quick as possible. Pay off whatever you used on the card as fast as possible. Try and pay it off before the next payment date that it shows on your account. So when you get your credit card, it's going to show you when the next payment date is and how much the minimum is. Try and pay it off in full every time. Don't make minimum payments because that can create more interest potentially. So you just keep your credit card small. I don't care if you have a $10,000 limit. Only use like $100 of it, $200 of it a month max. Okay, and it's a backup plan. If you ever go completely broke, you're about to die, you have that there. But only use that pretty much in that instance, because you don't because the interest is where they get you. Because it's not like student loans. I don't believe student loans don't have interest. It just stays the same. But credit cards, if you don't pay, they start adding more money, and like it's kind of like a trap. So interest is where they add more money to your debt if you don't pay on time. Pay on time. It's going to be very important that we do pay the credit card on time. Pay it before the payment date shows, so then your credit can get raised. And after you've been consistent on paying the credit card, you can go ahead and ask your credit card company for an increase. This will substantially raise your credit score. This is how you get into the 700-800s, is by having high credit limits. But just because you have a high limit doesn't mean spend it. It's not yours. Please, please. I've made that mistake before. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Just use the high limit to raise your score and keep your credit utilization between like 5 to 10%. I won't even go over 10%. So if you have a 10K limit, don't go over a band. And a band is a lot on that. Don't go over 500. Okay, 1 to 10%. Just keep it small. Keep it small. Like, keep it small. It's a lot of power in your hands. It's just like an account. You know, when you have a big 7-figure account, it's a lot of power in your hands. But this is what comes with being a ball player. So, boom. All right. So, now that we've gone ahead and understood this here, we can go ahead and talk about just being consistent. Just some mindset stuff right now. You can get your credit raised if you're in debt right now. Use your trading profits. Find a consistent system. Book with me for mentorship. Watch videos. Do anything you can to get consistent, because trading is Monday through Friday. You have an opportunity 20 days out of the month to make some money, some life-changing money, and it really is a huge, big, profitable skill. And there have been people who've climbed out of 6 figures debt from trading. So use these profits, pay yourself every single day, put yourself on a withdrawal system. Don't treat trading like a mini game, like, oh, how much can I flip my account to? Doesn't matter. Turn your brain on and actually realize that you have to get paid from this. Okay? So boom. That's going to go ahead and be that. We're going to go ahead and conclude. If you guys are looking for a cryptocurrency broker where you guys can trade crypto futures, altcoins, and meme coins, I recommend you guys head over to bitunix.com. You guys can either buy crypto straight up and buy your favorite coins using your card, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, XRP, etc. You guys also have the ability to trade futures as well, where you guys can either long or short cryptos such as Bitcoin, or even trade altcoins and meme coins such as Gala USDT. So you guys have a huge variety of what you guys want to trade, and the fees are pretty low as well. On bitunix.com, they also do give you guys a welcome bonus as well, where you guys can complete some very easy steps and get some free capital which you guys can trade with. There's also tons of trading competitions that go on that you guys can earn some capital to trade from too, and you can compete against your buddies. So if you guys are looking for a new crypto broker with low fees, fast transactions, and fast withdrawals, I'd head over to bitunix.com. Link in description below. Peace.